Golden retrievers are supposed to be the happiest dogs on Earth. But researchers have measured something unsettling: a 30% drop in serotonin in withdrawn dogs, blunted cortisol rhythms, and brain scans revealing reward circuit activity that mirrors patterns in human depression. So can your golden actually get depressed? To answer that, scientists first had to define what depression even means in a species that can never tell you how it feels. A golden retriever who loses interest in play, or who greets the morning with little enthusiasm, raises a question that science is only beginning to answer. Can a dog experience depression? In people, depression is mapped out by a list of symptoms: persistent sadness, withdrawal, and changes in sleep or appetite. For dogs whose language is behavior, the definition is less clear. Veterinary medicine has yet to settle on a universal checklist for canine depression, but early drafts focus on patterns: listlessness, social withdrawal, loss of interest in food or play, and altered sleep. These lists remain provisional, lacking the rigorous validation that underpins human diagnoses. Tools like the Canine Behavioral Assessment and Research Questionnaire, called CBARQ, measure anxiety and aggression but do not address depression. Pain scales and anxiety surveys help rule out other explanations, but a dedicated peer-reviewed scale for canine depression is still missing. For now, veterinarians and researchers look for clusters of behavior, persistent withdrawal, anhedonia, and changes in sleep or appetite, to flag dogs who may be experiencing something akin to depression. To move beyond observation, scientists have turned to the brain. Dr. Gregory Burns, a neuroscientist at Emory University, has trained dogs, including golden retrievers, to lie still in MRI scanners while awake. Using bold functional MRI, which tracks blood flow as a marker of neural activity, his team studies how the canine brain responds to social cues, rewards, and familiar scents. In groups of 8 to 15 dogs, small numbers given the challenge of training, researchers have found that the ventral striatum, a key reward center, lights up when dogs anticipate praise or food. This region is central in human depression research, where reduced activation is linked to anhedonia. Dogs showing behavioral withdrawal often display lower ventral striatal activity, mirroring patterns seen in people with depression. The science is cautious, sample sizes are limited, and bold signals reflect metabolic changes, not feelings. Each scan offers a glimpse into the emotional circuitry dogs share with humans, hinting at a biological basis for what owners see in their companions. Mood leaves its traces not just in the mind, but across the whole body. When a golden retriever's spark fades, scientists look for changes in the systems that shape emotion, chemical messengers, stress hormones, even the rhythm of the heart. Blood tests reveal that dogs showing depression-like withdrawal have, on average, a 30% drop in circulating serotonin compared to healthy controls. Serotonin, a key neurotransmitter for mood and motivation, is measured using high-performance liquid chromatography in samples as small as 2 milliliters, well within the comfort zone for routine veterinary visits. Alongside serotonin, levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, are often lower in dogs with chronic stress or separation anxiety. BDNF helps nerves grow and adapt, and its reduction has been linked to anhedonia in both dogs and people. The hormonal stress response shifts as well. In a study tracking 40 withdrawn dogs and 40 controls, morning cortisol peaks were blunted by 35% in the withdrawn group. Salivary and hair cortisol, collected with simple swabs or a small punch of fur, provide a window into both daily and long-term stress. These methods are already used in golden retriever health studies, making them accessible for owners and veterinarians alike. Heart rate variability, HRV, offers another clue. Researchers fitted collar-mounted sensors to 60 dogs and found that those with low motivation or persistent apathy had an 18% reduction in HRV, a sign that the body's ability to regulate stress is diminished. Lower HRV is a pattern seen in human depression and anxiety, and in dogs, it can be tracked at home with commercially available devices. Behavioral science adds another layer. Cognitive bias tests, adapted from human psychology, probe for pessimism by measuring how quickly a dog approaches an ambiguous cue, like a food bowl that might or might not hold a treat. While no published study has paired this test with dogs diagnosed as depressed, findings in other species suggest that chronic low mood leads to slower, more hesitant responses. In dogs, early trials have shown that acute stress can nudge behavior toward pessimism, but the link to sustained depression remains an open question. Taken together, these biological and behavioral clues form a mosaic. Serotonin, cortisol, HRV, and decision-making patterns all shift in dogs who lose their zest for life. None of these measures alone can diagnose depression, but they give owners and veterinarians concrete ways to notice when something deep may be changing inside a beloved companion. A golden retriever's gaze can feel almost human, steady, searching, and deeply connected. For decades, scientists have tried to understand what happens inside a dog's body during these moments of closeness. The answer lies with oxytocin, the neuropeptide often called the bonding hormone. In both people and dogs, even a minute of mutual eye contact sends oxytocin levels rising. Studies in mixed-breed dogs show a 30% increase in owners and a 15% bump in their pets after a gentle, sustained gaze. This hormonal surge does not just create a fleeting sense of warmth, it reinforces the social bond, making each interaction more meaningful for both sides. Golden retrievers, with their reputation for sociability, stand out in this story. Genetic research from the University of Cambridge has uncovered a variant in the oxytocin receptor pathway that appears more often in Goldens than in other breeds. While direct measurements of oxytocin during gaze have not been published specifically for Goldens, the breed's genetic architecture points toward heightened emotional sensitivity. Owners often describe their dogs as in tune with their feelings, quick to notice sadness or stress, and eager to offer comfort through touch or proximity. These everyday observations echo the findings from behavioral genetics, which link golden retrievers' social drive to the same molecular pathways that shape human emotions. Dr. Miho Nagasawa, a leading oxytocin researcher, explains that the feedback loop between dog and owner is especially strong in breeds bred for companionship and cooperation. When a golden retriever locks eyes with a person, both experience a hormonal echo that deepens attachment. This response is not as pronounced in more independent breeds, like huskies or basenjis, whose oxytocin pathways seem less reactive to human cues. For Goldens, the social world is the center of gravity, and changes in that world, like the loss of a companion or a shift in routine, can be felt with unusual intensity. For owners, this means that a golden retriever's emotional highs and lows are not just reflections of the household mood, but rooted in biology. The same sensitivity that makes them so beloved also leaves them vulnerable to changes in their social environment. Understanding this feedback loop helps explain why even subtle shifts, an owner's absence, the silence after a child leaves for college, can register so sharply in these dogs. The science behind the golden retriever's gaze is a reminder that their emotional world is both real and, in many ways, uniquely profound. When a golden retriever's joy fades, the next step is not guesswork, but a careful, methodical approach led by veterinary professionals. The process begins with a thorough checklist, one that rules out common medical causes before considering a mood disorder. For Goldens, about 15% will develop hypothyroidism at some point in their lives. This condition often masquerades as depression, with symptoms like lethargy, weight gain, and a lack of interest in play. Blood work to check thyroid levels is a standard first move, alongside screening for chronic pain from arthritis or hidden injuries, which are frequent in aging retrievers. Only when medical explanations are excluded does the focus shift to behavioral health. A veterinary behaviorist brings a structured plan. The first priority is to restore a sense of engagement and pleasure in the dog's daily life. Environmental enrichment, rotating toys, scent trails in the backyard, puzzle feeders, and new social experiences have been shown to lift motivation in as little as 2 weeks. For a dog like Finn, whose withdrawal worried his family, this meant daily scent games and longer, varied walks. Owners are guided to keep a log of changes, noting appetite, sleep, and willingness to play. These observations help the vet track progress and adjust the plan. Medication is never the first answer. Antidepressants, such as fluoxetine, are reserved for cases where enrichment and behavioral modification do not bring improvement. Even then, medication is only prescribed under close veterinary supervision, with regular check-ins to monitor side effects and ensure the dog's safety. Finn's story offers hope. Within 3 weeks of starting his care plan, he began greeting his family at the door again and showed renewed interest in favorite toys. His appetite returned to normal, and the spark in his eyes hinted at a deeper recovery. For owners facing similar worries, the path forward is clear. Work with your veterinarian, rule out hidden illness, enrich your dog's world, and be patient. With science and compassion, many Goldens rediscover the joy that defines their breed. Right now, veterinary science confirms dogs experience real emotional shifts, sometimes profound. As our understanding grows, so does our responsibility. Every Golden Retriever's behavior is a window into their inner world. The bond we share demands both compassion and evidence. Their feelings are real. How we respond defines us.